What's going on, everyone? I'm just a typical average American here today to react and learn about how to make good old-fashioned Canadian poutine. Poutine and I have a very interesting relationship. I mean, honestly, I've never seen poutine in real life, in the flesh. I'm not kidding. I've never seen poutine, let alone eaten it. But it's somehow managed to take this mythical, magical, legendary space in my mind. I'm not even sure it really exists. It could be a myth for all I know, and everyone is just playing a joke on me. But I'm going to choose to decide that it is real. And to my understanding, this magical dish consists of fries, cheese, gravy. Who knew? The three most fundamental elements in nature to survival. Who knew putting them together could create such a masterpiece? I'm just gonna check that actually. Let me Google that. Poutine. It's also fun to say. I find myself just saying it for no reason sometimes. French fries, cheese, curds. Curds, huh. Brown gravy. And I think the most important thing that struck me when I first learned about this was, it sounds good. Sounds really good. I'm not kidding. Sounds good. I feel like Americans would love this. It's very simple, delicious. You can't really go wrong. It's kind of like pizza. Can you make a bad poutine? Like, what can go wrong? It just sounds good. Anyway, we're going to check out this man's take on how to make a great Canadian poutine. And I'll just be interested to kind of see what goes into it and what it's like.
I'm Jamie, and I'm not a chef, but I'm teaching myself how to cook. And, I like to make foods that I've never made before, and this series is about me trying to make foods from all over the world. Every single country. All of them. Firstly, I'm going to start with the country that I'm from and the one that I'm standing in right now, which is Canada. I'm going to make some Canadian poutine today.
I'm actually glad he's Canadian. I was concerned for a second. I feel like to be an authentic Canadian poutine tutorial here, he at least has to be Canadian, so that's good.
Now, if you know and love poutine, then maybe, possibly, I don't know, you had a really fun night one time and you had a couple wobbly pops and you were...
Wobbly pop? Is that a joke? Is all of this just a joke that everyone's playing on me? Wobbly pop, is that a real slang? Beer. It's like a pop. Okay, pop that makes you wobbly. Okay, that is kind of funny.
Well, either that night or the day after when you weren't feeling great, you had a hankering for some French fries that were covered in cheese curds and hot gravy. You scarfed it down. Maybe you did that, or is just me that did that.
No, truthfully, the more that it's said out loud, the better it sounds.
A couple times. Canada is very multicultural, so a lot of food is influenced by many different countries as well as the local indigenous people. And it's also very much based on the geography of the country. East Coast, lobster, West Coast, salmon. In between, you have Montreal bagels, butter tarts.
Bagels? But do you have... Wait, what are these?
And I made an...
Oh, say that again.
Salmon. In between, you have Montreal bagels, butter tarts, and...
Butter tarts. I remember butter tarts from another video. You have bagels, but do you have bagels? Just a little pronunciation accent joke for you.
I made Nanaimo bars last episode. The word you don't hear too often is Canadian cuisine. Honestly, I didn't even know what Canada's national dish was until just now when I looked it up. And yes, from some random survey, 51% of the people say it is poutine.
I was gonna say, is this official? Is this written into law? Poutine is the unofficial or official national dish of Canada, okay.
Now I have a little practice making French fries because I was living in Belgium for a year. I was using a Dutch potato when I was over there, but...
Whoa, hold on. We're out here making French fries? From the potatoes? Is this normal? You don't just buy the crappy ones from the store that you heat up? Oh, I mean, they're crappy in quality, but the taste kind of grows on you. I'm not kidding. But the taste does kind of grow on you, that artificial fries. But no, you actually are making the French fries? Is that common? Is that critical to a good poutine homemade French fries?
Today we're using russet. I want the skin on today, so I'm not going to peel them, but I am going to wash them. Okay, these had to be scrubbed because there was dirt on them. Cut these in half, and then, of course, I need a bowl, which I'm going to fill up with cold water, just into the standard French fry shape. I'm not really doing any measurements today. It's poutine.
Oh, wow. This is actually kind of satisfying. French fries. All you gotta do is chop up a potato.
You've eaten French fries, you know the shape. Yeah, my French fry shape for today. And then
it's good.
Into the bowl.
It's good. It's pretty good.
For like half an hour so that the starch washes off them. I mean, you could do longer than half an hour if you wanted to, but today I don't want to wait around, so yeah.
Okay.
And now we're gonna move on to the gravy.
Okay. Yeah, come on. I mean, actually, what is gravy made from? Like, how do you make it? There's no home making the gravy, right? That can be made from a lot of different stuff. This is at least like gravy mix, like store-bought. Please tell me some of this is like fairly normal, like someone could like me could even do it.
Oh, So I have a problem. I have a big problem.
Oh.
I don't have any butter for my gravy. Thing is that I'm in a very remote area right now that's not close to any sort of store to buy butter. So what we got?
What? Not near a store? What is he, on the moon? What are we talking about?
Out here we got sour cream, Philadelphia cream cheese, ranch dipping sauce, whipped cream.
Okay.
I don't have butter, but I have accidentally made butter in the past by over whipping heavy cream. And I have heavy cream because of the Nanaimo Bar episode, so why not use this?
Okay, this is unexpected, but I like the adaptation. I like the problem solving.
And try to make butter. Is it possible? Okay, so we're in problem solving mode. Great. I have about 3/4 of this carton left of heavy cream. I'm gonna add that into this.
I mean, if it tells you about my cooking expertise, I didn't even know you needed butter for gravy. Gravy. It is a food. What is in it? The juices of meats that run naturally during cooking. Yeah. I was thinking there's no way you're gonna make that homemade. That is a lot of effort.
Bowl. What I gotta do is whip this cream for as long as I think I can, like well past the stiff peak phase, and it has to like start turning into something that more resembles butter, but there'll also be like some sort of like liquid in there, which I think is buttermilk. Then you strain the liquid from the clumpy part, and then you put it all together, and then voila, butter.
Wow, this worked out somehow. I'm gonna skip a little bit of using the whipping tool here.
Solid mass here in the liquid is like buttermilk and butter.
Huh.
It's like turned color.
That worked shockingly well. Like really well. That looks like butter.
Into what, the butter color. So it's like about a half an hour detour. Probably would have taken the same amount of time to go to the store, pick up the butter, come back. But now I know how to make butter. So.
Yeah, this was more fun.
Let's go to the stove. Medium heat. This is probably around, hopefully between 4 and 6 tablespoons, which is what I need. I'm just gonna add all of it. Hopefully it melts the way butter should melt. Oh, it is, perfect.
Look at that hunk. That is just a hunk of butter.
Homemade butter, shout out, is foaming. I'm going to add a 1/4 cup of flour, whisk that in, a liter of beef stock. Don't spill it. Whisk.
I'm not going to pass full judgment here because I don't know. This is semi-home. This is not just gravy mix. Like you put the powder with the gravy and stir it up, and it gets kind of congealed and jelly, and then you mix it up to try to get that stuff off. This is a little homemade-ish, at least by my standards. Gosh, Pretty low standards.
Whisk that in. A little bit of ketchup, but I don't have any ketchup. About half a teaspoon of ketchup. If you had 2 tablespoons, use that. If you have Worcestershire sauce, Worcestershire sauce, you would add it now, but I don't have it, and I'm not going to beat myself up over it. 3 tablespoons of cornstarch, 2 tablespoons of water. Mix this till it becomes a slurry. Turn up the heat and whisk it until it reaches a boil. Slowly add the slurry into the gravy.
Man, to me, making gravy, cooking, it's like magic. It's like alchemy. It's the closest thing we have to potion making, for as far as I'm concerned.
Continue to stir so it doesn't clump up. Keep stirring, don't let it clump. I hate when slurries clump. Just a little bit of salt. I mean, it's already salty because of the beef stock, but just a little bit. Turn the heat down to low, and I'm gonna let this simmer for 15 minutes.
That looks good. Looks good. I would drink that.
And we're back to the fries. Drain the water. Why don't you just do it over the sink? Give this very thorough wash with cold water.
Holy, these are going to be the freshest fries ever made. Or maybe not ever made, but that I've ever seen.
Fries onto the towel. We gotta dry these. Of course, a cooking oil, vegetable oil, sunflower oil. You can cook it in beef fat for all I care. I'm gonna be using corn oil. It needs to be something that can sustain the high heat. Back to the stove.
That's a good reason to make homemade fries. They come out gigantic. You can make them as big as you want. I never thought of that. The possibilities.
Add the oil. That's probably not deep enough. Switch the pots because that's not going to be deep enough. Filled this pot up with a few inches of oil, and there's enough space in there just in case the oil starts to rise and overflow. It's not going to burn the house down. I've had a couple close calls.
Okay.
Wanted to perfect as close as I could the Belgian French fries that I was eating out in the street. So
Oh, this is making me hungry, man. Belgian French fries. Now we're talking about Belgian French fries.
I have this recipe that I like to follow when I make French fries at home. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to use my Belgian French fry recipe for my Canadian poutine.
When he makes French fries at home, he makes it sound so casual. Like this is nothing. This is like, might as well be discovering a new element in front of me. This is crazy. Never, homemade French fries. Is this just common in Canada? It's not common in the United States. I know that. You have to be like somewhat of a cook, somewhat interested in cooking to go through the effort of that. But in Canada, because poutine is so popular, is this more common? Fry making? It's got me thinking.
So the oil needs to be a temperature of 300 degrees Fahrenheit, which I don't have a thermometer here, so I'm going to use stub of the wooden spoon. If bubbles start to form around it, then we're good to start. Off to the side, baking dish, line it with some paper towel. You're going to start adding the French fries.
Oh.
Keep rotating them. You don't want them to stick together.
Oh, wow. Oh, it's kind of fun. Frying the French fries. I'm like the most simple. This is perfectly targeted to me. I'm just endlessly entertained by the mundane frying of French fries, but it is cool.
So after around 7 minutes, has it been 7 minutes? 7 minutes or something, yeah. After around 7 minutes, these things look good. Take them out on the paper towel in the baking dish.
Wow. Fries.
So we're not done with frying these fries. They need to be double fried. That's where they get their crispiness. That's where they get their golden color to them. So I'm just going to put this off to the side. It needs to cool. Actually, why don't I cool it the Canadian way?
Wow, those look good. The Canadian way, he's going to put it in the snow.
Yes.
Yeah.
While we're in the middle of things, let me just introduce you to my cheese curds. So what this is just like young cheddar. Before it turns into actual cheese, like it's like halfway between milk and cheese, this is what this is.
Cheese curds. I actually never thought about that it's cheese curds. I thought it was just cheese in the poutine. I can't say I've really had much cheese curds. The word curd, as a noob, kind of scares me. Like, what? It's like a little nugget, little cheese nugget. But if that's the way it's done, fair enough.
It's like cheese that hasn't come together yet. It's illegal in some countries because of the bacterial culture in it. I see. See, because like cheddar cheese has been aged for 60 days or more and it kills the bacteria. Well, this has the bacteria in it. It's not.
Huh. And I guess it kind of melts a bit when you put the hot gravy on it. I'm sure, I mean, how bad could it be? It's cheese, it's gotta be good.
Not poutine without cheese curds. Keep it in the fridge. Crank the heat. It's gonna be around like 370, 380 degrees Fahrenheit. Add the fries, and I'm gonna keep them in there for like 2 to 3 to 4 minutes until they look the color I want them to look. I don't like a potatoey French fry. I like them nice and crispy. French fries are golden brown and
Oh my gosh. Those fries look good. They look really good.
ready to go. Bowl. Fries, salt, fries on the bottom, cheese curds on top. As many cheese curds as I want. I like
here we
it
go.
cheesy. Gravy's been sitting long enough so that there's like a film on top. I'm just gonna pass it
Oh, I hate the little film on top. You gotta kind of whisk it around a little bit.
through a fine sieve.
Oh. Wow. Look at it. Would you just look at it for a second? Oh, it's growing on me. Like, I could see some people thinking this is a little sloppy, but I like it. Oh.
From Canada.
That's what I like to see, the melting.
Of beauty. If you've never had it before and you're not lactose intolerant, I urge you to try it. Is ooey gooey comfort on a plate.
Yeah.
Can I tell a story off camera that might be funny? I went to the Canadian pub in London, the Maple Leaf, and they claimed to serve poutine, and it was chips, like the way they do them there, with just shredded processed cheese on it.
Yeah, not the curds.
Yeah.
Yeah, that actually doesn't surprise me. I could see a lot of people who don't know any better, uncultured, uncivilized barbarians, not doing the cheese curds the right way.
It
a sin.
It was blasphemous, and I was so offended. I left.
Yeah. Cheap knockoff.
Also, it's spreading a false kind of image of what poutine is around the world.
True.
Like, no, it's not shredded cheese.
I thought it was actually just regular cheese. I forgot.
Need the curds.
Wow.
That's my story.
That about wraps up Canadian cuisine. We'll be back next time with a food from another country. If you see a country...
See, now I don't know when Canadians say a boot, because I've heard a lot about how the aboot is exaggerated. The pronunciation. Is he making a funny? Is he making a joke? Or does he really say a boot like that instead of about?
That's my story.
Next time with a boot wraps up Canadian cuisine. We'll
All right, yeah, who cares? Maybe he means it, maybe he doesn't. It's all good. I know some people in Canada really do say the hard a boot. Maybe not angrily. A boot. That's about it. That's about it. And but not as many as I thought. Anyway.
see a country coming up on this list and you have a great recipe.
Okay, that's it. That's the end of it. This was by Anti-Chef. I liked that. I liked that a lot, actually. Very good. There is something about the poutine I wanted to check out. Where it was created. In the late 1950s. In the Centre du Québec region. Though its exact origins are uncertain. How mysterious. Wow. The legend of poutine lives on. Very good. I enjoyed this. This was good because he was kind of figuring out how to make it or explaining how to make it like I didn't know anything. And I didn't know anything, which was perfect. I enjoyed this and it's made me extremely hungry. Poutine does look delicious. Eventually I will try it. There's no doubt about that. Anyway, if you enjoyed this video, if you enjoyed this reaction, feel free to give it a like or leave a comment. And also, if you're looking for more reactions, me and my twin brother have started doing reactions together on YouTube. Here is a link. I should be floating here by my finger. If you're interested in some more entertainment, some more content, consider checking that out for fun. Anyway, until then, thank you for watching, and see you next time.